Alright, welcome to the Vanishing Cabinet shop. This is about 18 months in the making. This is a 3-car garage. The first things I did when I moved in were the floors. These are epoxy floors. I just got the Rust-Oleum kit from Home Depot. Next thing I did were the lights. So I put in 6 of these 8-foot long LED lights. Lighting in the shop is extremely important. You have to be able to see what you're working on, see imperfections, see holes. I'm generally a mood lighting kind of guy, but this is the one case where bright lights are okay for me. The first real project I had after the lighting in the floors was this right here. I learned most of my woodworking on a miter saw and I just got used to using it, so this is what I'm more comfortable using versus a table saw. I have a video on this workstation. A couple of the key features on here, I have this Craig stop block system. I have a stop block on this side and I also have a stop block on this side. Basically the dust collection for this, I have this aftermarket hose adapter which just hooks up to my shop vac. That goes under here and connects into the dedicated shop vac for this station. I have the vacuum on an automatic switch. Whenever I use it, so I don't have to like flip any switches or anything like that. So I have these shallow drawers which are really nice. One thing I didn't realize when I first started woodworking is that there's a difference in the quality of sandpaper you buy. So I would recommend spending a little bit more on the nicer sandpaper. You really see a better finish. And these are serious grit sandpaper. This is all kinds of miscellaneous hardware and random crap. This is my jig drawer. These are gauge blocks. If you've never heard of these, I use these all the time. Very handy. I would recommend getting a set of these. They're not expensive at all. And nice to have something that is very precise like that. Another random drawer stuff. And then down here I have a whole drawer filled with vacuum attachments. That's all I have to say about those. My paint sprayer. I love this thing. I've done a lot of painting in the past. If you do any painting at all, paint sprayer is absolutely worth the money, especially an airless sprayer. I've had a lot of good results using that thing and it makes things go a lot faster than rolling stuff on, and a better finish too. And they're not crazy expensive. This is my fasteners drawer. I'm going to talk about tape measures for a second. Like my first 5 years of doing woodworking, I only always had like one tape measure and I always misplaced it. So I have since gotten a bit of an obsession about tape measures, so you'll probably see them all over the place.
There's more of them in here. And under the bed too.
Bunch of tack cloths. These are really helpful to have to get dust off of things. This is my edge banding drawer, and this is an edge banding trimmer. If you do any edge banding at all, just go ahead and buy one. Since I've done a lot of painting in the past, I have found it really helpful to have a lot of drop cloths. Later on, I came and added on all this other crap here. I ended up adding a little enclosure for the miter saw to help control the dust and also to support the shelf that's up here. I made this a little bit too tight. It's pretty inconvenient to do those tilted 45 degrees. When I can, I do my 45-degree cuts like this. Or if it's a longer cut where I do have to tilt the saw, I'll tend to do it with my track saw. One regret, I wish I had made that a little bit wider. I have pegboard, I have all my hardware. I'm generally a power tools guy, but having a block plane around is really, really helpful. Definitely recommend having something like this around. I have as much artwork around here that I could reasonably fit while also being functional in the space. Most important character on here is this cat right here. This cat is alright, and she's okay too. I love this clamp wall. Wherever I had my clamps like sitting on the ground, like for years and years, I just had my clamps sitting on the ground. Finally, I built this. Have my vanity tool right here. This is the domino, and my sander up here as well. I swear, you can never have too many of these. I use these all the time for every project. These I use for my track saw. So if I'm ever cutting like plywood or sheet goods, I'll set these on the ground basically and just cut on my track saw on my hands and knees.
Okay, it's been 19 and a half minutes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And this is my measuring tools pegboard, so I have all my squares and combination square, my levels. can never have too many pencils. This is like all my disposables. So paint, finish, buckets, solvents, super glue, stains, all that kind of stuff I have in here. I mean, it's just really like hoarder status. Like I'm never gonna use these ever. These off-cut round things I'm never gonna use ever. This is like my power station where I have all the batteries. Again, it's more hoarding stuff. I'm never gonna use these. All this whole thing is built to cover my furnace, which is back here. Just because I felt like it was a big eyesore, I didn't want to have to see it all the time. I wanted the shop to look more cohesive. It also helps to keep dust from getting into the vent here. I also attached this shelving unit on the side here. I keep about 80% of my saw blades on here, basically everything I can fit. Right here though, this is probably my favorite project, the whole workshop. This is like a kitchen at a party. This is where I always spend all my time hanging out, assemble stuff, I set stuff on here. The top is made out of laminate flooring, which I was getting a lot of questions about how it's been holding up, and you can see it's held up really well. And these dog holes have been really amazing. I use them all the time for almost every project. My microfiber claws and terry claws, things like that. Got my microfiber and terry claws and things like that. This is my Bosch drawer where I have all my electric hand tools. Starting to become the DeWalt drawer. I really like the DeWalt tools. This is acoustic foam on here, which it helps a little bit to insulate the garage, but it's really just for looks. And then I have my 9-foot track for my track saw right here. This spool that's connected up to my compressor that's on the other side of the bench, and this just pulls out. Dust collection, and then I have the vise on the back here. That right here. That's important. Basically, these are like my jigs down here, my table saw jigs, things like that. I have some hoses and stuff I keep. And these keep my ear protection right here. I just recently got this bow accessory for the table saw. It adds like a massive amount to your table saw rip fence and some in-feed support. And then in here I have all the accessories that go along with this system. So these are like feather boards, both like downward feather boards and inward feather boards. I used it for about a week now and it's been great. So I'll probably have more to add on that once I get to use it more. Remote to the plug where I have my dust collector right here hooked up to. So whenever I use the table saw, I just hit the button, it kicks on the dust collection, and I can just turn it off. That way I don't have to walk over and turn it on. I just have the remote right here. My trash cans in here, really helpful to have trash cans, and I usually just empty them out once a week. And here I have, this is where I have the compressor. I have my Fuji HVLP sprayer that I mainly use for spraying lacquer. So I have all the accessories for the dog holes in these two tool trays. I'm usually working like right here, and I just turn around, grab it, clamp something down. On this side I have my flip top workstation where I keep my benchtop tools, and I'll get them all flipped as fast as I can. Here we go. And I just took all these up. Router table has 2 ports and a joint over here. I keep all my router bits in here. Additional storage in here. I just have more hardware, drawer slides. Up here though, my all-purpose boom arm, like vacuum. It just rotates out so I can reach the different corners of the shop. It's nice and easy to move. I use the Wen dust collector here, which has 2 ports. This one goes up into the system that feeds this hole, all these benchtop tools. And then the other one just goes directly into the table saw right here. Okay, that's the flip top station. I keep my bandsaw right here, shorter track saw tracks right here, Moria behind this door, ladders, mops, brooms, things like that right here. Once you've had a utility sink, you'll never be able to live without one. So if you have one, you know. This section right here is actually the newest addition to the workshop. I had a bunch of racks with all these camping gear and stuff like that, but now it's been converted to a wood shop space. This workbench here I got from Enjoy Wood. They're actually kind enough to send me a sample. And it came at the perfect time because I'm exhausted of building other crap in the shop and I just wanted to get this space all set up, and this was a great solution to having a workbench that's better than anything I can build and ready to go, assembled in less than an hour. And I'm going to be using it for my CNC tool right here. And this thing's great. It's got a nice thick work surface on top. I think it's like 2,000 pound weight capacity on it or something. It's dead flat and it's got this really nice clear coat on it, so it's nice and smooth. It has this really spacious double drawer. The option to add a shelf if you wanted to add a shelf. It's got power back here, and it comes with this shelf right here too, which is nice. I haven't quite filled it up yet because I just installed it a few days ago. But yeah, when the folks over at Enjoy Wood asked if I would be interested in something like this, and I saw how it looked too, I'm like, oh yeah, perfect aesthetic. You can do a lot worse than this one if you're looking for a quick and fast workbench that's solid. Yeah, I love it. Of course, you gotta have a rocker in the garage for thinking. Then I've got Han encased in carbonite behind me. And this is my main wood storage area. There's a lot of white oak on here, dimensional lumber, pieces of trim. And I keep my offcuts down here. I try and keep like my dimensional lumber separate. Some other offcuts up here, some other random storage. And then I have this cart here to store all my sheet goods. This is on wheels and I can move this. I don't usually do, but if I ever need to, I can. And then I just have a couple other various storage compartments on this side. And then right here I just have my surface planer. I have these workbenches for in-feed and out-feed support. These are amazing. I used these for a long time before I had actually built my own workbench, but these are a really great option for something mobile and portable. Alright, well that's going to do it for this tour. Again, this shop has been about 18 months in the making. I've been building it slowly over time. Thank you for watching this one though. Be curious to hear your thoughts on this setup. Do you have ideas on how to make things better, more efficient? Love to hear the feedback, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and subscribe if you haven't.